Oh my gosh. I literally don't start coughing until I turn on the camera. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to finally be recording this video. This video was requested as a result of a couple videos I did on my life updates, and I mentioned to you guys that I'm a pre-med student, so this video is going to be my top 10 tips for pre-med students. If you're not pre-med, don't worry. I think these tips are still applicable to just your overall college experience. And if you're going to college or, gearing up, if you're in your junior or senior year of high school, these tips will definitely be helpful for you moving forward. So without further ado, let's get started. So tip number 1 is the most important tip, and it's make sure you're doing this for you. I know a lot of people go into school or go into college saying that they're pre-med for various reasons, and all the reasons are valid, but sometimes it's pressure from our family, pressure from school, like administrators and principals and guidance counselors. So I would definitely say make sure that you're pre-med because you want to be pre-med, not for anyone else. Because pre-med is hard. I'm not going to lie to you, it is hard. You know that when the going gets tough and you are up at 3 a.m. studying, you need to make sure that you're studying for you and not to please anyone else. So that's the most important tip I would say. Tip number 2 is something that I wasn't too good at, but it's build and maintain relationships with your professors. Because guess what, guys? 3 words: letters of recommendation. You need those letters and you need those relationships with your professors. Mind you, you're in pre-med classes, like intro bio classes, intro chem classes. They have like 200 students in there. The professor has no idea who you are unless you're going to office hours, always asking questions, and just, again, building and maintaining a relationship with them so that they know who you are, they know your character, they know your work ethic, and they'll vouch for you in your letters of recommendation. Number 3 is retake classes if necessary. College was definitely a shocker. College was a lot harder than I expected it to be. So I got some grades that I was not satisfied with, and I decided to retake a couple of classes. Unfortunately, medical schools are looking at your grades. They want to see that you're consistent and that you're excelling. So definitely retake a class if necessary. Don't let your pride get in the way of you getting a good grade. It will be weird at first because you're literally sitting in the same class, but you just have to have a different mindset about what you're going to accomplish in that class. So tip number 4 is research. Start your research early. And when I say research, I mean in a lab, like finding a professor who does research in a topic that you're interested in and eventually asking them to work in their lab. I didn't do much research in my undergraduate career, which I absolutely regret, but definitely do research. I know a lot of people who benefited from their experiences, and it's definitely something medical schools look at and they desire. So that is research in the lab aspect, but on the other aspect, also do research about the colleges that you're applying to or plan to apply to. You need to know what they're looking for, and you need to know if you can fit that mold. It's super important because not all med schools are created equal, and you are a very particular person, you're a very unique person, and you need to find a school that will fit your experience. Tip number 5. I think I did good with this one. Tip number 5 is balancing your class schedule with humanities courses, social sciences, writing courses, etc., etc. So if you're like me, my majors are molecular and cellular biology and Spanish with a minor in chemistry. So it's very, very, very science heavy. So I have my Spanish major to kind of balance me out, but also take classes that you're interested in that have absolutely nothing to do with the sciences. The best classes I've taken during my school career, my undergraduate career, were actually not science classes. So do not put yourself in a box. Developing all your skills, your writing skills, your speaking skills, your critical thinking skills. So again, try to balance your schedule out so that you're the best you that you can be. Number 6, pay attention to this one. Do not be afraid to ask for help. This is one that I suffer with greatly because I'm such a proud person. Asking for help sometimes feels icky because you feel like you couldn't do it, you couldn't accomplish what needed to be accomplished, but that's not what it is at all. It's exactly the opposite. The strongest people and the smartest people are the people that ask for help and use the resources provided to them. So that could be tutoring, that could be meeting up with your TA, that could be going to various services on campus like the writing center, or the psychological and counseling center, something of that effect, whatever you have on your campus. So definitely utilize your resources and do not be afraid to tell people, I'm struggling, I'm not performing to par, I am not happy with how I feel, what I'm doing. Do not be afraid to ask for help, guys. Number 7. This one is super important. Constantly review the information you learn in class. I know you take classes, you study for the class, you take your final, and then you're like, oh my God, thank the Lord, I do not have to remember any of that stuff anymore once the class is over, right? Well, let me tell you a secret. There's this thing called the MCAT, and you have to retain all the information that you learned in your entire undergraduate career for the MCAT. Put it in your long-term memory again. Review it, regurgitate it over and over again, so when it comes time to study for the MCAT, you're not relearning things. Number 8. Number 8 is save your coin. Because guess what? Med school is so expensive. Yay! Don't you love giving people your money? It feels great, right? No, it doesn't. Make sure you're saving up for all those application fees because they do add up. If you're applying to 4, 5, 6, 7 schools, I think the average student, pre-med student in my school applies to 15 med schools. That's a lot of money. I'm talking on the level of thousands of dollars. There are resources for people. If you qualify, you can get fee waivers and things like that. So make sure you look into that. Make sure you apply to that if you qualify. But if you don't, again, save those coins. Number 9. This is a pretty unpopular opinion. Abandon the work hard, play hard mantra. I know everybody tells you when you go to college, work hard, play hard. Study really hard during the week, party really hard during the weekend. Don't do that. Cut that out. You're literally going to run yourself into the ground, and they will go 72 hours without eating a meal, without getting sleep because they're studying for a test. And then during the weekend, they will drink from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Don't do that. You need to basically balance out your schedule. Study consistently, but don't study at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because guess what? You're not going to retain any of that information. Once your brain is fried, it's fried. And you need the sleeping process to help you solidify what you're learning. So staying up and pulling all-nighters is not helping you. It's actually hurting you. So make sure you're studying consistently throughout the week, but you're not overexerting yourself. And finally, my tip number 10 is believe in yourself and stay confident. This was something that I had trouble with because, again, I came from a high school where, I never had to study. I always took the test, got an A, and that was it. So when I got to college, it was a really drastic change for me because I could no longer, study the night before and get an A. I was getting grades that I'd never gotten before in my life, and it really took a hit on my self-esteem and on my confidence. You have to remain confident in yourself and your abilities and know that everything will work out. And that's something, again, I'm learning and growing and still telling myself every day. So that's it, guys. Those are my top 10 tips for pre-med students or college students in general, high school students in general. I hope this was helpful. If you guys want more pre-med videos, give this video a thumbs up, and I will definitely continue this series and make it a series. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.